Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first official episode of the Never Enough Toys podcast.
All right.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Chris.
And we're a couple of adult men who collect toys.
Yeah. It just so happened that something that we loved as kids never stopped.
No. Well, it stopped. I mean, I started collecting later in life.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I had toys when I'm growing up. All right. Let's start here. I mean, this is a learning process for both of us. This is our first podcast together.
Yeah.
So this is our first podcast, period. So we hopefully will get better as time goes on, and you guys get to witness the baby steps that we're taking. And so all right, let's go back to the very beginning. Favorite toys growing up as a kid?
Oh, geez. I would say I'm definitely 100% Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Die Hard.
Concur.
That was something that stuck with me throughout my whole life, which is why I said before, I kept a lot of my figures from childhood. We did yard sales over the years, and there were some things that shouldn't have left my collection at the time, but it
Common
happens.
Story.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say TMNT was my main focus growing up. How about you?
Same thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman. I was born in 86.
Mm-hmm. 86 as well.
So just to give everybody an age idea. So yes, it was Turtles. It was Batman. Pee-wee. I grew up with Sesame Street and stuff like that, so I had toys from those. And a lot of McDonald's toys.
Oh, yeah.
The cereal premiums you would get, the toys in the cereal. And then growing up, further, going into,
different lines,
movies and stuff like that. You had your Space Jam and your...
Yeah. Crow.
The Crow, Spawn figures.
Yeah, big time.
I was a big Kiss fan, so I always had Kiss toys, whether it be like the Psycho Circus McFarlane stuff and all that good stuff. But I you grow out of it.
Yeah.
I grew out of it, when you were like 13, 14, and you discover just firecrackers and action figures is pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh my God! I got a firework story with action figures that'll make you throw up.
Oh, me and my buddies used to just destroy figures. Like my buddy had pellet guns and like the airsoft pellet guns, and we would target practice and throw them off trees. And
yep.
Like it ended up I ended up destroying a lot of nothing that comes to mind now that is worth of any value, but still stuff that I had to replace in my collection now. My small soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You set me up on that one.
What'd you destroy?
Sergeant Slaughter G.I. Joe.
Oh, jerk. You're a big jerk for doing that.
It wasn't me. It was my brother. We were in my our driveway, a childhood driveway,
right.
And he lit off this firecracker on his face. And I just remember seeing that Sergeant Slaughter's face just look like a blank blob afterwards. And if you see what the price of that figure is going for nowadays, you will.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited at this time. Actually, I just got a notification and got pushed back again. Valoverse Action Force figures, they're making a Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, nice.
I pre-ordered that bad boy. It just got pushed back.
Yeah.
So just a little Sergeant Slaughter taking it right there.
Yeah. So to go along with how collecting, you said, you grew out of it at some point. I would say, I was edging towards, I started with like Turtles and stuff like that as a kid. My brother was big into He-Man. He had a great He-Man collection growing up.
Nice.
But we were Marvel heads too.
Your brother is how much older than you?
We're 4.5 years apart to the day.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So he grew up in a good time as well because he had He-Man,
Oh, yeah.
Thundercats, Brave Star, all these cool.
He had them all. Centurions.
Oh yeah,
Thunderhawks. He had it all.
Sectors.
Yup.
Oh hell yeah.
What were the dinosaur figures?
Dinobots.
Dinobots. Yep.
Is that what is that?
You know, Dinobots, Land of the Lost, maybe.
Land of the Lost?
Yeah.
That was a show.
Yeah. So I was very lucky to have an older brother growing up because
Dino Riders.
Dino Riders. That's it.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm like, there's something else.
I'll never forget having that big like Diplodocus Brachiosaurus. He was like bluish green, and it was just a massive figure. Now there's a massive figure on the shelves of that same.
Yeah, the
dinosaur,
Jurassic Park stuff is really amazing nowadays.
Jurassic Park
I wish I had room for these giant dinosaurs because I would. The focus of that toy line should be the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
So I don't mind having the little 3-inch figures of the people because the focus is the dinosaurs. The people are the characters that you buy. I wouldn't get like that. What is it? The Amber collection.
Yeah.
That's out right now, like of the full 6-inch figures. Like I wouldn't get those.
They're pretty cool.
They're nice, but now you have to get really, really big dinosaurs to put them together. I'd rather have the smaller people.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the bigger, cool stuff.
I was definitely
Jurassic Park was another one that I had when growing up because that was like prime and what was in the movies at that age, and I'm just getting Jurassic Park. Oh man, great toys.
I remember. I'll never forget getting that what they call like the big red, the sound Tyrannosaurus Rex that you stomp its feet.
Oh, yeah. I like how you walk down the aisles nowadays, and they're all motion censored. So as you walk down the aisle, these dinosaurs are all making noises at you. Just like, what the hell?
That's great. Yeah.
So did you stop and then restart? Did you always see? With me, I wasn't really growing up. I wasn't a collector. It wasn't like I had to have everybody. It's not that I displayed anything. I just had toys. I mean, like a kid, that's what you do. They're playthings that all get thrown into a toy chest.
Yep.
I didn't keep anything. I wasn't like keeping things in the boxes and stuff like that. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I guess it was like maybe in high school, once I got a job, and I started having money, and then I started buying. That's when I started buying like some Spawn figures.
And some adult collector stuff.
But only because they were cool, and like I did kind of display them. But like I was like maybe 15, 16, and you're at that point where you're kind of embarrassed that you're collecting, like you're buying toys. Like I would have to take the bus home, and I have like these Toys R Us bags, and I'm like, I hope nobody I know sees me with these bags of toys because I'm taking a bus from Toys R Us because I just bought my favorite at that time Daredevil figure.
Oh,
I had that Daredevil, Marvel Legends Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that's when I had my the Marvel Legends. Ghost Rider with the flame wheeled bike and all that cool stuff. Like I remember buying that, and I was like 14, 15. But then, like I totally stopped at some point.
Yeah, I would say that there was like a small time where I was out, but what I kept along was the Turtles. That was the constant. So I didn't have any original Turtles from my childhood still in package. What I did have from my childhood still in package, largely thanks to my brother, because I guess he had a little more foresight into collectability and what something was going to be worth down the line.
Okay,
was Toy Biz Marvel figures.
Yes.
So we had those in a plastic bin forever. We had Green Goblin. We had Talking Spider-Man, regular Spider-Man with the suction cups. Right. 2 variants of Cyclops and Weapon X. We had these figures, on card still, hoping that they would be worth something. And as time went on, we realized that those Toy Biz figures really didn't.
They made so many.
Yeah, they made so many that they really didn't appreciate that much.
Yeah.
It's only taking till now for them to be,
always on the shelf. What a different world.
I know. We grew up in the best time. I'm like, now post thinking about it, there's no more Toys R Us in the U.S. We grew up in a time period where Toys R Us was it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
KB
KB Toys.
Toys, Kid Kangaroo back in the day.
Yeah.
We had so many options. Now our options are like big box, Targets, Walmarts.
Aisles. Not even a store. You're down to 2 aisles.
Yeah, it's just a small subsection.
3 aisles maybe.
Yeah.
Because depending upon what you collect, it's in different parts of the store.
FAO Schwartz was like the boutique shop at the time.
Yeah.
And then Toys R Us absorbed that.
Right.
Yeah. So that was something to witness in our time.
Crazy.
Toys R Us in Times Square gone.
So when did you get back into collecting toys again?
So like I said, I almost feel like it didn't stop for me. I feel like with the Turtles, I always told myself, since I loved all the Turtles kind of equally, I didn't really have a favorite turtle. So what I would do is I would say, if there was a new series coming out, like let's just say, for instance, like when the original Playmates line kind of phased out, I was clamoring for whatever was going to come next. So when the next mutation came out in '97, when, it was it wasn't even a cartoon; it was a live action
Crap shoot.
Show. I saw the figures and I was like, before I even saw the show, and I was like, wow, these are cool, and there's a girl. So I was like, I got to
talk about her.
Yeah, nobody really talks about Venus de Milo. No. So what I did at that time was I picked up all 4 Turtles and Venus, and I think Splinter as well, because I got love for Splinter as well. So I picked up that set. I didn't buy Bad Guys, really. I wasn't really into the Bad Guys as much. So I would always buy...
I was kind of in that boat.
Yeah, I would always buy, I was like, that white knight, you like the good guys, try to buy the good guys only.
Right. Yeah, but then once you have those good guys, be like, who are they going to fight?
Yeah, exactly. So I would have them fight other characters and stuff like that. But then as you get older, you stop playing with them so much, and it's more about just having them and displaying them. You're not really punching each other and being animated anymore with them.
Yeah, I got back into it. Weirdly, I always collected something. There's always something that I had a collection of something I'd like to show to my friends.
Yeah.
So at first it was CDs.
Yeah, CDs.
Music CDs and then DVDs.
Yeah.
That craze of just having, just like my equivalent of my father having all those albums.
Yeah.
The record albums. I was that way with CDs and music. And I always wanted to be the guy that anybody would be like, that song? I'd be like, yeah, I know that song. I have it. If you want me to make you a copy, I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm the music guy. That was how I started collecting something.
Yeah.
And then slowly but surely, for some reason, I just started collecting little figures here and there. I would find a figure that was man, this is a perfect version of that character in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
So, I would be I don't have any of my childhood toys. None.
Wow. Really? That's shocking almost.
Maybe a couple of, I have a Cookie Monster doll that I know for a fact is from when I had one. Remember the Chubbles that look like Ewoks?
Oh, yeah.
I know I have one of those, but most of my almost all of my collection is rebought.
Right.
But I was smart about it. I got most of the stuff at yard sales and flea markets, and so you usually find good deals.
Yeah.
So, but when I started collecting, it was just a character here and there through different universes that I just merged onto a shelf. I'd have a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'd have a Wolverine next to a Greedo. And then I'd have some...
Mod Podge.
Yeah, it was just, a couple of Hasbro wrestlers here and there. Then I had the Kiss dolls, and I just started mixing them all up. And then I just started buying more characters pertaining. It was just I just planted seeds.
Yeah, and then padded it
all
out.
these different bushes started growing because I started becoming a completist when it came to certain lines. So, of course, I want all 4 of my turtles.
Yeah.
And all 4 of those turtles became, let's get, secondary characters, let's get bad guys, let's get everybody. And so I started with, it was DC Classics. Started getting, I just wanted a nice Justice League shelf. I like comic book versions of characters. I would just like that. And then I just started getting more, and it turned into, well, now I have all these DC guys. I ended up getting like the Watchmen.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, now I need some Marvel. I'm not really a Marvel guy, but it'd be cool to have the X-Men, and now I have the Avengers, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I just started, and now I was like, well, now when it comes to comic books, let's just keep it at factions, you know, just teams of people. That way, I don't have to collect everybody. But now I have all these teams, and they need bad guys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get a bad guy to match up with each of these heroes. So, you know, I'll have a Joker for my Batman, a Lex Luthor for my Superman, Cheetara, whatever her name is, for Wonder Woman. It's just like, and it turned into that. And then my Turtles, you know, always found my vintage Turtles. I started getting those back. I started getting, and then it turned into a huge, like, I started in 2012. It's 2020, 21, right?
Yeah, 2021.
2021. Almost 9 years old, my collection is, and it's a full ass room.
Yeah.
Like
that room is something to
my
behold.
wife is an angel on earth for allowing it to happen.
Both.
But it became, like, I'm a musician. Me and you were in bands together.
Yep.
So I went from being like a music fanatic, trying to get every piece of music that I could get, to having my focus on being in a band and creating that music.
Yeah.
And then that portion of my life was being in a band. And 3 bands later turned into, I'm not in a band anymore. Now I'm a married guy. Now I have a regular job. And now I have a mortgage. And we don't have any children yet, but they are definitely in the plans. And I became obsessed with little plastic figures. And just recapturing my childhood, you know, getting things that I didn't have. I never grew up with He-Man, but now I have both vintage and modern He-Man stuff all in my, I have, you know, almost, you know, everybody that I want. I put my cap on certain lines, but yeah, that's how collecting started and is for me. It's become something that I go in my room and I look at everything and I'm just like, oh man, I'm just so happy that I've found this stuff, and it's in my possession. And it's usually like even stuff that I have and I haven't got a spot for. I see a pile of stuff and I look at it and I'm just like, it brings me back to when I'm looking for it. And how good it is to find it. And now everything in this pile is everything that I was looking for and I've actually found. And now I'm just seeing all of it just together in this little pile of gold. Just staring up at me. And that's what it, and I don't scalp. I don't,
That's
true.
I
don't buy things because they're hot and try to sell them. I usually, you know, I search for my buddies and what they're looking for. If I find something, are you looking for this? Whatever. And, you know, it's just a wash.
You're a Sagittarius, right?
Wrong.
No?
No, sir. I'm a Scorpio.
You're Scorpio. Oh, okay.
We're in the same.
So I'm a Sagittarius, and they're known for
that's right. You're on
for hunting. So that's why I figured you have some of that traits too.
All I know about Scorpios is that we like it in the water.
Yeah. But we're just like natural hunters, and you go out and you find all of our friends anything that they could be looking for. You do it very selflessly, and like you said, you don't scalp, nor do I. It's just not something.
It's not even like I work across the street from a Target, so I'm in that Target twice a day. You know, on my way in or my way out. I'm just gonna check because you never know. And there's been cases where I've been somewhere in the morning and then I go again at night, and what I was looking for is there at night. I mean, it happens. You don't know when they stock, what they stock, what's returned, what's in the wrong spot. You never really know. And so, of course, I'm just that way. If I'm not sitting doing nothing. I need to get up and
Do something.
let me
yeah.
go hunt a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's just seeing things and I was seeing things that I don't want, but at least I've seen it. And, it's like catch and release.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know what other collector friends are looking for. So I'm never without a target.
Yeah.
It's always something that I could be looking for.
Yeah.
And so I go out and I check. I just check. That's all you can do is check.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes that's my day is, you know what? I'm feeling a little down. Maybe I'll just I'm going to stop into Best Buy real quick. See what the toy section's looking like.
Which is something new to me. I had no idea that Best Buy had toys.
Yeah, they're starting to come in.
Which is another stop that I've made recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen things, not things that I want, but at least I've seen 2 shelves of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice to know that other retailers are starting to pick things up where Toys R Us, definitely slacked. Now, we have some other places to go.
We should have an episode where we talk about where the line is when things are toys and when they become collectibles.
True.
And how that has totally changed the whole, what they call toy business, because it's like the toy business is to make children's playthings.
Yeah.
But now, as time went on, those children grew older, and now they want playthings, but not children's playthings. They want playthings that they can do themselves, whether it be displaying or customizing or whatever it is. So now there's an adult collector market, which I'm sure has been there for a long time now.
Right.
But the market has never been more catered to than it has been today, like with NECA making all these different Ninja Turtles in different ways and different lines, appeasing to all these are not made for children.
Yeah,
This is not a toy for a kid. These are collectibles for adults.
Yeah, they're based on things from our childhood. A show from 1987 or 88 or even 82, getting a figure in 2021 is so bizarre. And
it's a good thing and a bad thing. I think we can lend to the fact of this being the rebirth of Masters of the Universe. I know that fan base has been starving for something new because, in the early 2000s, you had the 2000X line, which was kind of like a anime comicized version of He-Man. It was different, but, it was something, but it was not anything to the phenomena that was the original.
Yeah.
And now that with this whole rebirth and I think there's 3 different shows that are in the works.
Wow.
I know that the movie, as of right now, the main actor they wanted to play He-Man is out. So I don't even think the movie's happening. They've been talking about movies for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I think that totally lends a hand with the whole what's a toy and what's a collectible, because now they're making toys that are made for children, but the market is targeted towards the adult collector. So now I've seen it. It kind of discourages me a little bit where I'm in the toy aisle and I hear a kid point and ask their parent, who that is, and they're pointing at He-Man and Skeletor. And it's really now, if that kid is going to get that toy, first off, there's no shows out yet.
There's nothing supporting it.
If the only way that kid is going to get that toy is if that parent is a fan of Masters of the Universe.
1,000%.
Because I've heard it different ways. I've heard a guy say, "Oh yeah, this is He-Man and this is Skeletor, and they fight for the sword for Castle Grayskull," and they'll be real animated about it and try to sell that toy to the kid.
Yeah.
Or again, I've also heard, "Daddy, who's that?" And the guy's like, "Oh, that's old school. That's He-Man," and keep walking.
Right.
That's old school, and wave their hand at it, be like, "That's old school. That's He-Man." So he's obviously he didn't grow up with the toy, but Dad knows who it is. Kid doesn't know.
Right.
Toy's made for the kid. Kid doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
So as of right now,
it's a really strange market.
The selling of these toys are solely on the old school collector.
Yeah.
Now me, again, I didn't grow up with He-Man, but I got into He-Man later. growing into this toy collecting, I'm like, I kind of came to the realization that He-Man is the ultimate action figure in my eyes.
Oh, man.
He's the ultimate. That Masters of the Universe is like the ultimate figure line when it comes to sci-fi, fantasy, barbarian. It's just so cool because it's just all different types of, creatures and, mythoses and kings, and it's just really cool. I think, and
really
in my
cool.
opinion, as discovering it, as not discovering it, but getting into it as an older collector.
Yeah.
To try to sell that to a kid who doesn't have anything,
Or any kind of, like you said,
yet it's coming.
Yeah, there's nothing supporting it right now.
I think
there's no
everything
cartoons
right now out is for us.
Yeah,
It's not for the kids.
and not for nothing, kids nowadays really aren't as interested in toys. They're more into their device. They're on a phone or doing a mobile game or.
But there's still that thing I've hearing in the stores, like that thing where the kids are still clamoring for something and the parents are saying you're getting one thing. So they are getting toys.
Yeah.
I mean, it just all depends on what it is, how much it is, and whether the parent's going to pay for it. Or you already have that. Why do you want another one? Like I hear it all because I'm always in the toy aisle.
Yep.
But it's a psychology course. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's a psychology course. I'm
Yeah.
just sitting in that aisle and I'm listening to. All right, now I know how not to parent. Or sometimes you see beautiful moments.
Yeah, that's true.
You see a kid find exactly what he's looking for and be like, dude, I know that feeling. Good for you, man. Congrats. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Living in Staten Island is really funny because there's some certain stereotypes that go along with the people that live here, and it's always funny. I was just thinking of a time when I was walking through a Target aisle, and this parent was just cursing this kid out. That I just
and I love when they do it in public too. Like,
yeah, come on,
you're an idiot.
Kids in the toy aisle, I'll like peek over like, what's going on? Like kind of attached to the.
Yeah, I mind my business.
Yeah,
I don't know.
bad parenting all over. But you're a good parent if you're trying to get your kids into the things that you were into.
Well, trying not
at
forcing
least.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to force it. I would I buy my niece and nephews things that try. Like I bought my niece that Savage, the Primal Age, the DC Primal Age Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just to maybe see if she would like a warrior woman, like just a warrior action figure.
Right.
I got her a Chewbacca doll. Seemed like maybe, it'd be cute. A little girl and her favorite thing is a Chewbacca doll that her uncle got her.
Don't they like turtles too?
She loves Leonardo. She loves blue's her favorite color.
Okay.
So I actually gave her a Leonardo figure. She loved the Ninja Turtles, whatever incarnation is playing on the TV. And she loves Leonardo, so she's kind of in there.
Yeah.
My nephew is a little younger. I got him the Masters of the Universe Little People. So,
Nice.
I mean, of course he's gonna like it because it's a little toy and he's a baby. But hopefully it'll be one of his favorites one day. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I could do is just give him the elements and just see what
if it
happens.
sticks.
You can lead a horse to water,
Yeah. I think that's the beauty of the turtles is that there was a small period of time where they were so popular, so relevant, and then they took a downturn with the next mutation, but then they upsurged again back in 2002 with the Fox show. So then again, here I am, now I'm in high school and I'm still buying the 4 turtles.
Right. Right.
I'm still buying the 4 turtles. That's 2002. Then, maybe a couple of years down the line, I think I ended up buying the NECA 2008. So, there was a little lull in between there of not finding anything that was really appealing to me. And, in 2008, I'm in college at this point. There's a little break from toys, and it was more like getting into relationships and
Right.
doing the bands again. Tons of bands that we were doing back then. So it was nice to see like, oh wow, they made the all red bandana turtles.
Right. Yeah.
I
yeah.
gotta grab those. Boom.
Right.
So that was like another 4 right there. And
Yeah.
believe it or not, I bought those at Hot Topic.
I believe it. I believe it.
They only had 3 on the shelf, and I had to scour the internet to get that fourth one. The
right.
RAF, yeah. But I got it.
Nice. Yeah, that's like one of my big, long-lasting arguments. How many turtles do you need?
Yeah.
How many different sets do you need?
Yep.
It's like turtles is probably, besides wrestling, I think wrestling's my biggest collection that I have.
Yeah, I would say.
I think I have more wrestling figures because there was just more characters.
Tons of characters, even to this day.
And over a span of time, I went from almost the beginning to absolutely current.
Yeah.
So I have everybody from Bruno Sammartino to Mustafa Ali. So it's just like I have everybody.
Yeah.
I can't believe I said Mustafa Ali. Like from Bruno Sammartino to Bray Wyatt, the Fiend.
Sure. Absolutely.
Much better.
There you go. Yeah. Any of these characters, they you want to at least care about who you're getting. Like for me, like I always connected with the turtles. I always go back to that as like, well, listen, if I'm going to keep buying turtles, there's got to be a reason. So I justify like, oh, well, these are the Mirage turtles, or these are the movie star turtles, or there's always a spot for them for me.
See, I was always when I started recollecting the turtles, I was sticking vintage. I stayed vintage, and that's how I kind of built my collection. And then once you kind of get to that point, where everybody else that you need is either unattainable or ridiculously priced or whatever. And then NECA started coming out with stuff, and they came out with those really big turtles, the movie ones.
Oh, the
big
quarter scales.
Yeah, those big ones. And I said, please, God, make those 6 or 7 inch, please. And it happened.
Chef's kiss.
Right.
Beautiful figures.
So then that's where I ended up jumping back into getting modern stuff, because I was just collecting when it came with like movies and stuff like that. Like, see, like it was always a category in which I was working on.
Right.
That led me to whatever figures I was getting. So like I had a turtle section, but most of them was the vintage turtles, the toys. So this is like my turtles toy section.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if I was to get these NECA movie accurate turtles, these wouldn't go with these.
Yeah.
These would go in a movie section where I would have the turtles hanging out with my Diamond Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
And my, McFarlane Beetlejuice, and, just like movie figures.
Yeah.
So that's where I would put them. But then NECA kept on going.
Oh,
and then they were like, well, here's the video game versions, the cartoon versions.
Yep.
We're going to variant some of the colors versions. And then it came to a point where like, all right, well, I want the cartoon versions, obviously.
Yep.
Because I grew up with the cartoon and the movie. Those are the 2 best things ever in my book. So, of course, I got to get it. And I was getting lucky because being in Target twice a day, getting those NECA tunes weren't too hard. It's the Walmart stuff is hard to get because we don't have one in Staten Island. So we have to go to Jersey, and hopefully, they're not, all of them are not equally distributed.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to say. Some are shit and some are not.
Yeah.
So then I started getting into those, and it's just like, I wasn't going to get the video game turtles because I'm not a video game guy.
Yeah.
Really? I like playing until it pisses me off, and I can never play again for another month.
Yeah.
I got those little mini consoles
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have a
You
Genesis.
got a Rampage machine in your.
And I do have a Rampage machine, only
Arcade
because
one-up.
I go by Rich Rampage on social media. So Rampage worked for my room.
Yeah.
I kind of worked out where I busted the door off of a closet and made that like my video game room because
Yeah.
I'm a closet gamer.
Closet gamer. I like it.
So I put the Rampage machine in there with all my Nintendo figures. I collect Hot Wheels pertaining to my different collections.
Yeah, lots of Mario Kart. And
So I have all the Mario Kart Hot
Street
Wheels
Fighter.
so far. Then I have Street Fighter, the Funkos that look like He-Man figures.
Oh.
So that's why I bought those, the Street Fighter and the Mortal Kombat ones.
Yeah, those are cool.
And then, just random video game stuff that I grew up with. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot,
Oh yeah, classics.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem. Doom. Oh, great game.
Balls of steel. Yeah, nah. I would say, yeah. Out of the two of us, I'm probably the video game collector. I have a pretty nice collection that I've been accruing. I slowed down a megaton on buying physical games because now, like we're in
Everything streaming wise.
yeah, we're in an era where I can download stuff right to my system.
Right. So now, if anything, you're just collecting for the packaging.
Yeah, which I tend to do most
Which is
of the
what
time.
most collectors do. I mean, I don't think most collectors play their actual vintage video games.
Yeah,
I would
they
imagine they all have emulators on their computers and shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all in what you're trying to get out of it. If you're trying to play it for fun, then you'll play it however you can get it.
Right.
If you're looking to make a mint, 20, 30 years down the line or something like that, then you're going to collect those physical boxes and try to get them in the best shape possible. And I have my focuses. Like you said,
being in your space right now, we're
Yeah.
in Chris's space. You have a wrestling section.
Mm-hmm.
You have, I would say 2 turtle sections because you have one of some stuff up here, and then you also have a whole hall.
I have an entire layer.
like a museum hall.
Yeah.
Of turtles, and then you got like your little Mega
I
Man.
got a Mega Man shelf.
Got some Dick Tracy, some Power Rangers, just to give everybody, like the audience, of idea of what we collect. And then you have a huge Marvel, X-Men, Avengers, Spider-Man, both Legends and Toy Biz, vintage and modern.
Yep.
Got some Space Jam down there.
Yep.
Dinosaurs, some Jurassic Park on the bottom, right?
Yep.
And then we're surrounded by the WWE Retro Series.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Turtles, wrestling,
Turtles,
X-Men,
wrestling, X-Men.
and then you got a little sprinkle Dick Tracy, Power Rangers.
Spider-Man.
And then
Yep.
you have a huge video game closet full of all vintage video games.
Yeah.
Ranging from Genesis, Super Nintendo,
Everything.
Dreamcast.
I'll go as far back as Atari. We got just basically the stuff I grew up with. Atari, NES, Super Nintendo, Master System, Genesis, you name it. A nice Saturn collection, very small 32X. Just
Nice.
some good focuses.
And you have quite the
Yeah, I got a couple of arcade one-ups here. We got the Star Wars. We got Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. We've got a Street Fighter 2 cabinet. And Turtles.
Turtles.
Gotta have it. Turtles cab.
Nice.
That was... The Turtles cab was like the piece de la resistance. Like, that was...
No, it's beautiful.
I had to
you
have
the
that.
riser and the stool to go
Yep,
with it.
riser, 2 stools now. Yeah.
Because they can't be correct.
Yeah.
They're both messed up? Are they both messed up?
They're both messed up.
I don't know if that's a running thing out there, but if you got a turtle stool that's messed up, join the club.
Yeah, but no, it's passion. It really is. It's finding the things that you love, and just going all in on them. That's how I feel like we collect. We collect in a very similar way too. You said before you have like your ideals. So if I see, battle armor this or like, a classic looking Iron Man, I'm going to go for the classic looking Iron Man because that's what I see it as. I like the ideal version of that character.
Yeah. That's why my X-Men, my Marvel, mostly DC classics. So this is pretty much the same line that I stuck with when it came to DC. But like Marvel and stuff, the Toy Biz and Legends, they both mix very well.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get, the guys that I wanted, whether it be from either line. They mixed together well.
Yeah.
As long as the scale is, and I just like that's definitive look.
Yeah, I like definitive looks. Not really a variant type of guy when it comes to collecting.
One thing you do also that I don't really do is you actually set up with your X-Men and you actually have like a battle scene going on.
Oh yeah.
I kind of have two battle scenes, but for the most part, all my figures are just standing up straight like a portrait.
Statuesque.
Like, how is everybody? And you got people just standing there, but I don't have anybody like fighting, interacting with each other, stuff like that. Except for my He-Man and both the Masters of the Universe with the Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. I have kind of a battle scene going on, kind of.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the wrestling Masters of the Universe with the rings.
Yep.
Of course, you're gonna make it look like they're fighting.
Yeah, if you got a good play set to work with, you might as well have them,
Absolutely.
dynamic.
Oh, we got to do an episode on play sets.
Oh my goodness, of course.
We'll go through it. We won't mention any, but you know which ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got an interesting tip for you. Do you have any rings? Any wrestling rings?
Yeah, I have a few. I have an original Hasbro, the blue one.
Yeah.
Which I kind of restored myself.
Huh.
I got it in shit condition, and then I was able to get the whole sticker and ropes reproduction stuff. Hasbro Maniacs, if you guys are out there, they make the Hasbro Ultimate Guide book. It's really cool. Like a magazine. It's not like a big, thick book, but it's very informative on the WWF Hasbro line.
Yeah.
So I have the original Hasbro, but modernly refurbished, I guess, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I bought a whole bunch. I bought like 5 or 6 of the newer Mattel re-release when they were doing the retro line. I think I bought like 4
Grab
of them.
that box behind you right there.
This guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This one.
That's
This
it.
one right here. I bought like 4 of these off of Amazon. They were like $11 at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, that's not going to last forever, and people are going to want to get it. So
I have 2 myself.
I have one. Sorry.
That's all right.
I have one that I customized. I spray painted it all black. I changed all the stickers. Again, through Hasbro Maniacs, they were able to make me custom stickers. I made it an Attitude Era ring.
Nice.
So it's all black with black and red ropes, and I had the old WWF scratch logo on it and stuff like that. And then I have one ring that holds my Turtle Wrestlers.
Yes.
When Playmates did the wrestler crossovers. So I have those 2 series just all in that one ring. And then I think I have like 2 other rings still in the box. And then the Masters of the Universe, or Masters WWE Universe, Grayskull ring and Snake Mountain rings.
Yeah.
I have those. But I don't have any of the Mattel, like 6-inch scale rings. I don't have any of those. I don't have the room for those.
Yeah.
And I was always on the hunt for the yellow King of the Ring Hasbro ring, which I didn't know at the time when I was looking for it. Had no idea. I just had seen it and thought it was cool to have. And then for some reason, I never like looked it up. I never saw it on groups or anything like that. But then once I heard that it was actually kind of rare and kind of cost more money, I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want it that bad though.
Yeah, that's
Again,
true.
it's worth what you're willing to pay. I'm not willing to pay more than something stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
And you collect mostly out of box stuff too, right?
Yeah,
You free them from the plastic prison.
for the most part, yeah. I don't have the room for the packaging with the type of completist collector that I am. It would just be stupid to keep everything in a box because you probably have to tote everything just to store it. Just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I collected DVDs and CDs beforehand, so I have these huge CD DVD racks that I just, when I moved into my new house, I affixed them to the wall and I started putting my figures on them instead.
Yeah.
And so I like the setup, I like the posing, I like the look of everything out and in different sections and whatnot. It's kind of like a collage of chaos.
Yeah.
It's like everything's very colorful. I like to call it toy static. If you just stand back and just like look back and forth without even like focusing, it's just static of color.
Yeah.
That's what I think I love most because most of the stuff that I collect is from the 80s and 90s. Very colorful, neon colors popping out. You know, you got your Toxic Crusaders and, you know, Crash Test Dummies and all these brightly colored things that you just like look into it and just be like, oh, that's, you know, DuckTales and,
Yeah.
you know, that's the Care Bears and those are the Smurfs.
And you've mentioned so many different franchises. Isn't that kind of like a part of your collecting habit too?
Yeah, I like to be very universal. There's like very few things that I don't collect. Like I used to always say it was Lego and GI Joe that I stood away from.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I never grew up with GI Joe.
I feel you on that.
But I do now have, like, you know, being that they're kind of being resurgent as well and having their classified line. Like, I like I picked up like the little Jada Toys 6-pack of the little iron little figures.
Yeah.
Just for the packaging. Same thing with the Jada Toys little cars, like the 3-packs of the little GI Joe like tank and whatnot. I'll pick that up just because it's nostalgic looking.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up with GI Joe, and I mean, Legos are. How could you not like Legos?
Yeah.
But Legos were never really something that I went for. So
It's a whole rabbit hole.
I go for. I usually my focus is usually cartoons and movies that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Whether it be Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, anything, Family Guy, even you know, Jay and Silent Bob, and
yeah,
you know, like I kind of have a figure for almost everything.
Yeah,
like almost any character. Say a character right now.
Woody Woodpecker.
I have a Woody Woodpecker plush. You know, you have to.
Yeah,
because he goes with my plushies. I got a Woody Woodpecker, a Mighty Mouse, a Rocky and Bullwinkle, and Diego Flintstone.
Underdog.
Have no fear, Underdog is here.
Yeah.
Right next to my my Hong Kong Fu.
Hong Kong Fu.
So like, you know, like I said, so there's
You go deep cuts, man. You go far.
You know, you got Space Coast to Coast.
Oh yeah, he's right over there. He's right in the back.
And I like to have things that are like, wow, I never know they made that. Or something that's like, oh, I've never seen that. Or, wow, I haven't seen that in a long time. When everybody sees that Alf doll, they're like, oh, my God, I had that Alf doll.
Yeah.
He looks perfect. He looks just like the puppet on the fucking show. You
know?
know?
Or like even a Steve Urkel or...
Oh, yeah. How many people had Steve Urkel dolls and Pee Wee Herman pull string dolls? I have them both standing next to each other. You know? And Ed Grimley. Remember Ed Grimley?
Oh, I love Ed Grimley.
Yep.
That sticking up hair, I still try to do that now.
Martin Short.
Yeah.
That was him.
Do any of your pull strings still work?
Probably not. I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine so.
Yeah.
Maybe my Woody one does, but that's not super old.
Yeah, I was hanging with a buddy the other day. He showed me his Whoa! He showed me his Pee Wee Herman doll.
Showed you his pee-pee?
He showed me his Pee Wee Herman doll.
His pee-pee doll.
And we pulled the string on it, and his...
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Same thing with that. I have the big pull string Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
You know, that it just looks like a big Hasbro figure, and he's got a pull string. And the same thing. It's like...
Yeah. So fast.
Nothing happens. I wish I had all those. I mean, I had the Talking Wrestling Buddies. They still talk.
Nice.
Like the WCW ones.
WCW,
So
yeah.
that's, I have Sting and
Macho Man, right?
No, I have Sting and I have Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP, right?
Right, and they still talk. They still like.
I got a Hollywood Hogan
My
the
Sting
other day.
one will just one out of nowhere, just like whoa, out of nowhere, just like what the hell was that? Oh, ow, my aching arm.
Oh, that one,
that's
yes.
how they used to do that.
And like insert whatever.
Break my leg, brother.
That was great.
Yep, I loved all that stuff, and I ended up getting that DDP like mint in box.
Yeah.
My wife wanted it. Go figure. I got her into it. She's got a shelf in the bedroom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my wife has a shelf of figures. She's gotten into it. We were together when I started.
Yeah.
So this is not like something that first off she saw when we were first started dating. Oh my God, he's got toys. I didn't
Right.
have them then, and she saw it just happen.
Yeah.
She watched it happen up until now.
Yeah. See, I'm in the other side of it. So, me and my wife got together after she had met me and saw that I had toys.
Yeah.
So, she was already accepting off the bat that, this was the kind of guy that I am. He's going to go out and go hunt and go find toys. And
My wife doesn't care about the toys. She's not embarrassed by it. She's more concerned with the cost.
Right.
Obviously,
yeah.
and the fact that we're gonna have to have kids soon.
Yeah.
and we need money for that.
Yeah.
Stop buying stuff.
True.
And
yeah.
and she's 100% right.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
I'm very lucky. I don't have to be embarrassed.
right.
And she's into it too. She loves going to toy shows, and
Yep.
she loves the artist aspect of toy shows.
Yeah.
she likes seeing people who create stuff. I'm more into buying toys, and she's just like, oh, this guy created this thing, and I want it. So she's very into that. So I'm very lucky in that sense. So it's not like a podcast I listen to. My wife is going to kill me podcast. That's I don't know.
Little
plug.
Little plug for you guys.
Yeah, they're hilarious. They kind of are part of the inspiration for this because I listened to podcasts and thought, hey, let me try that.
Yeah, why not?
My wife is not going to kill me, but if I keep on spending my money, I guess she will.
yeah.
But
Likewise.
I'm smart, and I try to, we do our best to
Yeah, budget
keep
here
up.
and there.
Yes, you got a budget. You got to we could have gone to a show today.
Yeah, we had an opportunity.
I had to pass it up, and this show is once a month, so I have to wait until next month for the next show.
That's true.
And so I was like, you know what? Let me not give into temptation. We went to a show last week.
Yeah, we did.
That was good.
And we took both of our wives with us. And
Yes, and it was.
they actually made out the best out of all. I walked away empty-handed, but
Oh, not me.
yeah,
I got some good stuff.
Yeah. My wife walked away with a Sword of Gryffindor. She's a big Harry Potter fan. So that was a major score for her display. And like you said, your wife's got a display. My wife's got a display too. She's got a Harry Potter section. It's funny because we started watching The Toys That Made Us. And
Which I've watched over and over again. I love that show.
She fell in love with My Little Pony through that.
Uh-huh.
So I started grabbing her as many as I could.
That He-Man episode really inspired me to get more into it.
Yeah.
Also, there's a documentary, The Power of Grayskull.
Yep. Watched it.
That really pushed me into it. Also, with the different podcasts that I listen to, pushed me into it. So
Yeah.
I know the feeling of how she got into the My Little Pony watching a show, and that's how I got into it. My wife hates He-Man.
Right.
If there's anything that I collect that she hates, it's He-Man.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say that I didn't say it. She recalls it way better than I do. She recalls me saying at maybe a show or somebody's booth that I will never collect He-Man.
You ate those words.
I don't know why I said it. I she says that I said it, and she doesn't. I believe her. I'm not
Right.
And I vaguely remember saying it, but she says it. I feel like she says she hates it in the fact that I went back on my word,
Right.
rather than my argument would be, oh, I just wasn't into it then,
Yeah.
but I'm into it now.
Yeah. And similar story
It's
for.
just like, you can't stick by all my, like, me and my wife have been together for almost 15 years. Like, I said a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So I can't stand by every word. And, you know, apparently every 7 years you're a different person. So that was 2 people ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could say the opposite for our love for Masters of the Universe in this house, because her brother grew up with them, and her mom was a saint, and she kept some box sets, and they ended
What a
up
story.
they ended up getting sent to Germany in a pins and needles feeling of, am I going to get screwed here, or am I going to actually get.
You need to elaborate on that.
Oh, my goodness.
You lumped that up into one crazy sentence.
Yeah.
All right. So your brother-in-law and mother-in-law
Kept vintage Motus
Right.
in this basement for years and years and years. And
stored in a basement, and not just thrown in a basement for years and years and years.
yeah, I mean,
kind of stored.
they weren't stored in the like best possible way, but they were definitely, you know,
Right.
still in package and everything. They were pretty decent. And all I did was send. She sent me this picture, and she said, "You think these are worth anything? You think you could do anything with that?" And I was like, "Well, let me just take a look." I sent you the picture. You put the picture up online for me.
What did you say? You said, "Do you want to cry?"
Do you want to cry?
And
Yes.
he sends me a picture, and I see a picture, and it's all vintage carded gift sets. So you got He-Man and Battle Cat,
Yep.
Skeletor and Panther, Tila and Zor, and then you had like
He-Man on card.
He-Man on card, Orko,
Skeletor, Orko on card.
and you had a ripped Evelyn card.
Ripped Evelyn and 2 Tilas.
2 Tilas on card.
Yep.
Wasn't one of them cut?
No, just
No,
the
just that evil
yeah.
and it was like the top half of the card was ripped
Yeah.
off. So
I send you the pic, and Michael Jackson was in there too.
at first, I knew of the commemorative sets.
Yeah.
that came out in like the 2000,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I think. So as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I hope these aren't like the newer stuff.
Right, right.
But then I saw the Tila and Zor, and I was like, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So and that would have been fresh on my mind with the commemorative sets that they had released. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know, man. Let's do some research.
We did.
And so what? So continue. So you
So-
send me this picture, and I'm like, well, good on you, bro. What are you doing with that stuff?
Yeah. So
She wasn't giving it to you. She
yeah,
Well,
she said these are for the family. See what you can do with them. So after I sent you the picture, you said, "May I post this online?" And
yeah,
I
I
said,
was like, let me just share this like little pot of gold.
I had about 3 to 4 messages in my inbox immediately after that. Are you selling? How much do you want? And I was just blown away that people were that interested in those sets. I ended up making a deal with a guy. We spoke many times. I saw him face to face, so I knew that he was a real person. And, you know, I really qualified whether or not, you know, he was being genuine about it. And it ended up working out for both of us because the exchange rate over there was going to be crazy. So, you know, I didn't want to, like, you know, hurt the guy. At the same time, I did want to, you know, help the family and do something good for us.
Get the most that you can get. Not being, just getting its worth and making sure that
You're not getting undercut as much as possible.
Now you have the responsibility of sending this thing overseas
Yep.
to a guy who just spent an exorbitant amount of money
Yeah.
on plastic, destroyable plastic.
Yeah.
So
And I was on pins and needles the entire time during that sale because in doing things through PayPal, it's always the buyer's way.
Right.
So like the seller is so easily screwed in those situations, and I just really did not want to lose out on this potential sale.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy to say that it worked out for everybody in this situation. Everybody walked away happy. We ended up splitting everything amongst the family. So literally everybody was ecstatic that I was able to do this and make a deal and not get screwed in the process.
Nice.
So it really worked out, and it kind of gave us an affinity in this house. It's like, wow, Masters of the Universe,
it's gonna fund some of this stuff.
Yeah, it kicked ass for us. So yeah,
we could thank our little nest egg to He-Man.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I don't have any stories like that. I mean, I found some rare figures here and there, and they're still in my collection. I've never sold them. If I find anything of crazy value, I wouldn't even. I have to sell. I have stuff. Actually, I do have things that I could sell. I just have never been a seller.
Yeah.
I never had the responsibility of just packing something up and sending it. And I mean, I just never have really done it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be soon that I'm going to have to probably start selling some of my stuff off anyway.
Right.
I mean, I have underneath my couch is just bins and bins of things that are not up on display. So if they're not on display, what are they doing?
Right.
Nothing. So let's get some money for that. And hopefully my collection will start paying for itself. But as of right now, I'm still
we don't want to become the people that we hate, right?
Like we say when it comes to certain things, once one race ends, another one begins. And every time I finish one thing, I feel like, all right, cool, I'm done. But this is where the name of this podcast comes from. Never Enough Toys. Because once I'm done, there's always something else that pops up, whether I had forgotten about it before or it's brand new and here you are.
Yep.
It's out there if you want to go grab it. And if you don't grab it now, you're going to pay more for it later.
Yeah.
But if you're paying for everything that you're finding now, you don't have any money for now.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's what a conundrum you put yourself in over a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
This is not
We
a
love
job. We're creating a job for us right now in creating content to share our joy for a hobby.
Yeah, it's a passion
of
project.
Collecting toys and it's, I don't know if there's a lot of collector communities that actually have formatted content like this where you're just going to talk about collecting toys.
Yeah.
I mean, there are podcasts that are toy news and letting you know what's going on, which I would love to incorporate. Let everybody know what news at least interests me.
Yeah.
Oh snap! I saw that new King Thanos in Target today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grab it, and Chris didn't want it, so it went back on the shelf. But that's news.
Yeah.
Things are hitting the Marvel Legends 3.75 inch line is hitting the stores now. That's news to me. I didn't even know how many. I saw a whole peg full of
loaded,
all different. I was like, how many are there?
Yeah.
And so you said 12. You said.
I thought there was 12.
I heard
but then
12, and then maybe a 5 more.
Yeah.
Or something. But I don't know who they are because I seen the Spider-Man card, but it was Electro.
Yes.
And you see an Iron Man, and it's just Iron Man. So then.
And then there's a Cyclops that goes with that. There's there's
it's odd.
Yeah, it's a strange thing.
So news and collecting has led me here.
Yeah, we're here.
This is where the collecting has led me. I went from just being a casual, then got serious into collecting, whether it be vintage or up-to-date stuff, and now it's become a passion where I just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I pretty much I just looked online and I found that there are a couple of podcasts that actually talk about toys, and I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
But I hate waiting for
another
more episodes because I'm like,
what?
Well, I want to keep going. I want to hear more of what everybody else thinks because maybe we all think the same. And
right.
And there are networks of toy reviewers. Obviously, you have your big, toy reviewers like Pixel Dan is
Shartimus Prime.
They got
couple of cool ones.
Yeah, and then you have like different sites like the Fwoosh and
Fwoosh
and stuff like that. And so I'm not finding them, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of podcasts where it's like audio and we could do doing the videos is obviously going to be part of what we do here. We're going to hopefully review things and say what see what's on the radar and whatnot. So this is kind of like the introduction to our first
what we're
ever
about.
podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you were my first partner choice above all. I do have another friend who I would love to get on the show, Mr. Benny Rose.
Yes.
He would have been,
time.
if you would have said no, I would have went to him next.
Yes.
Not that I like you more than Benny. I'm just saying that,
of course.
We all have things going on, and you were like, yeah, let's do a podcast. And I was like, all right, me and you do a podcast.
Yeah.
But Benny is also Benny Rose of Neon Arcadia fame.
Yes.
He's a musician.
Former
also,
bandmate of both of us. Yeah.
Yes, former bandmates. We've been doing music together. We've been running for another 15 years as well.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I've
Yeah.
known you longer than that.
Yes.
You know my ex, right? You remember my ex?
I think so.
All right, we're not going to talk about her, but that's that's a long
history.
time ago. So we've been friends for a really long time. The toy collecting hobby became more serious, more recently, maybe in the past couple of years, where both of us have become more serious in collecting the toys, I think.
Yeah.
And Benny has always been a collector. He's always had stacks and stacks of shit.
Always.
Because we've helped him move in and out of places. And he's always had just bins and piles of shit. And he would, I'm selling, this pile is the stuff I'm selling on Amazon. This pile is the stuff I'm selling. Like, I remember all these things. And I'm just like, and Benny is another guy that we are like the trio of texters that I'm like, oh yeah, I found this. Are you looking for that?
You looking for that? You
Right.
need this?
Right.
Yeah, we all look out for each other in the group. And I would say I think it came really natural for us. Like it would always be like the two of us driving in the car and just talking. And we don't have an issue with like ever being like dead. There's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yeah, this initially started with us just having conversations on the way to toy shows and him secretly pressing record on his phone. And so, like, I didn't know. I had no idea until, like, maybe I saw it or something. I'm like, is that recording?
You recording?
And he's like, yeah, why not?
You never know.
And I was like, all right, well, this is kind of like a podcast.
Right.
And so then that got my mind churning. I was like, well, maybe I can do this because me and you can keep on talking about toys forever. And as of right now, we're at what?
Talk forever.
We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes, which is a little over. I was trying to cap it at an hour.
Yeah.
So as of right now, but it's our first episode. You're getting an introduction to what we're about and what we collect and what we want this show to be. I guess it's just us talking to each other, and if we could connect with listeners and like-minded collectors, where we just
reminisce,
talk about new stuff, what's cool, what's not,
what you like about it.
Funko Pops are not cool. Fight me.
Yeah, don't have very many in my collection.
We're not going to talk about
few.
them. We'll have an episode where we trash them. No, I'm kidding. But
yeah, it's gonna mostly stay positive. There may be a segment or two where, like, if something comes along, I'm just like, come on, what's the quality here? Quality control.
Yeah, no, we'll be honest, but also not badgering and belligerent.
Yeah,
mean. We're not about that. We're not about me.
Yeah, if you don't like it, move on.
I was bullied as a kid, so I'm not going to bully other people for anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to start with toy companies either and bully them, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll give you my honest opinion. And hopefully this just continues. I'm just going to keep on doing it. I'm going to keep on collecting toys. I'm going to probably get rid of a lot of stuff and replace it with something else.
Right.
Maybe one day I won't want to collect toys anymore and I'll have to sell it all off. Hopefully I'll have a lot of listeners to sell it all back to.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's all in how you want to keep going with this. I think for us, it's just a natural fit that we can go out, the two of us, and just go find something. And it's nice to know that there's things out there now currently that are going to appeal to our strengths,
Right.
appeal to our likes,
Right.
and interests.
Yeah, we're in quite an age right now where the toy companies, again, like I said, are focusing on a collector's market that they're never been before.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
and they know that we're very picky.
Yeah.
and most of the time they abide. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a great time right now where it's a great time to be a toy collector. There's a lot of things that are coming out, have been out, a lot of rumored stuff. We want to get into all of that stuff in future episodes of, I mean, we're just gonna keep this going.
Yeah, I think this is a great starting point. Just, giving each other the platform to speak on what we love and talk about all the cool stuff that we find. And, hopefully it connects with our listeners and viewers. And we just keep, sparking joy, that Marie Kondo stuff,
Right.
Sparks
Absolutely.
joy for us. So
Very cool.
she likes to get rid of things. We like to collect.
Hoarders. Shout out to the Facebook page,
Toy Hoarders.
Anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But we don't do it. It's not like in a way where like we're buying up all the things to take them the chance away from others to be able to buy them.
no, I have gone to the point of messaging an eBay seller and being like, I see this whole lot of figures that you have. I'm going to send you pictures of stuff that is circled. I only want that stuff. Can you just send that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't just grab everything. I don't want everything.
Right.
I'll give you a fair price for these select things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we try to be fair. Like we're not in this to hit it rich. We're not in it to
no, we're just I just figured we have equipment. Well, you have equipment to do this stuff, and we have somewhat of time to just see what we could do, because I talk about toys and my wife rolls her eyes, and then I think about it and then I feel bad about it.
Right.
But then I go to a show and I'm just like, look at all these people who think exactly like me.
Yeah.
Whether it be collecting it or they're just in there collectors have different tastes and certain things. It's all different, and it's a community.
Yeah.
That I was just like, maybe I should, I don't know, give my contribution. I'm not a toy seller.
Right.
I kind of hunt for my friends, but I'm not a toy hunter for for myself, and I just have the Rolodex of what my friends are looking for in the back of my head. So if I find it, I find it.
Yeah.
So I figured, let's do a podcast or a YouTube or something where we just get our stuff out.
Yeah. Let it all out.
Just express our love for the craft of collecting.
Absolutely.
And the properties of therein.
Yeah. And, like you said before, you had your options. I'm glad you chose me as your partner in this. And
I didn't have options. I just figured, I was just like, you know what? Hey, you want to do this? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was a no-brainer for us.
yeah, but we'll definitely have Benny Rose on some episodes because he's a smart guy. He's got a lot of cool taste. Like collects a lot of Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that.
Got some great Power Rangers and DC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Been doing the DC hunt for him lately. Transformers. I have some Transformers, so we'll get into it all.
Yeah.
We'll probably have like a property spotlight, maybe episodes of talking about what we'll have a Turtles episode, I'm sure.
Oh,
this kind of was a Turtles episode a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know what? It just tied itself through for me. That's the reason that I kept collecting. It was always this staple of, it never grew out. And you know what? Even just as far as like from like a friends and family standpoint, like I feel like at one point, some people saw that I was into turtles, so then my birthday gift for the year would be
Turtles.
something turtle related. Yeah. So it was like they perpetuated it for me and kind of made it
That way?
worse.
they
How could
fueled
you-
the fire.
Yeah, they fueled the fire, like just like threw some sticks on there and just, it's like,
And then you
oh.
grow up and be like, why do you like turtles so much?
Well, because everybody just keeps buying me all these awesome things. Well, I have just a great, support system.
I express it through T-shirts. You'll probably
Yeah.
see a different T-shirt on me every episode if there's, because I could do it.
Yeah.
I have. That's another thing I collect. Just freaking T-shirts.
Yeah.
Today we turned it up to 11.
Yeah, we got a little Marvel vs. Capcom there, a little crossover.
So in conclusion,
Yeah.
at an hour and 16 minutes, this is our first official
Long roller.
Never Enough Toys podcast.
Yeah, man. We did it. We set the mics up.
We stayed true to the name.
We went all the way
Finally,
in.
a podcast.
Yeah.
Because we released 2 videos before a single podcast.
Hey, it's all a work in
Well, one
progress.
video. I don't know. The second one's not out yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
So you keep your eyes peeled on YouTube, Never Enough Toys. Instagram, Never Enough Toys.
Yep.
Facebook, Never Enough Toys Podcast. Twitter, Never Enough Toys. Find us everywhere.
Yeah. And we'll be supplying that content. I know Rich is really good with his graphics and pictures.
Oh, yes. I'm very good at using my phone to cut pictures out and paste them together. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like
Collage.
Kindergarten Maj Podge stuff,
Yeah.
but on my phone.
Yeah.
We'll get better, I promise. Once we get better idea of what we're doing here, things will get better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I hope everybody sticks around for the ride. Again, you're watching the Never Enough Toys podcast. My name is Rich,
And I'm Chris.
and we hope to see you next time.
Thanks so much.
Later.
Later.